We've got some future top 5 players on the server potentially, and we've got some past top 5 players. Major legends, major champions, and, well, pretty much newbies to the scene come together as we have Virtus Pro versus Vitality up next. Tom, what
And
have
a
you got
Brit.
in your bones about this? And
There's a Brit.
Had to rub that one in, didn't you? It's
Yeah.
like, you take what small victories you can.
Yeah. God save the Queen.
God
Alex
save
had a really, really good game in the last one as well. It was him, obviously Zywa, but that's expected. Like at this point, like nobody came into the game going, "Oh, Zywa's got 29 kills. What a surprise!" Like it's not one of those things at all. So, you know, I'm looking forward to this one. I'm looking forward to this new Virtus Pro as well. Like, although yeah, there's a couple of members from the old team. I think bringing in a little bit of extra AGO magic into this team is going to be good. And yeah, I'm happy to see Snacks and Bialy back, because I think I was sort of talking to you beforehand saying that the only way there was going to be a sort of new Virtus Pro, a way that Virtus Pro would rise is, well, it had to start from the beginning. The players that were sort of there for a long time would eventually have to leave. Although, yeah, it's very sad. We miss Pasha, we miss Neo, we miss Taz, of course, but he left a little bit sooner. It's one of those situations where you look at this team now and you say, okay, I can see a lot of talent. Hopefully, as well, there's a lot of drive, because these aren't players that have been like winning tournaments all the time. Okay, sure, Snacks and Bialy have had their fair share of victories, but you look down the list, Mihu's always been tainted as one of the sort of best up-and-coming players in Poland, but never really had the sort of victories or silverware to go behind it. You look at Snatchy, pulled in from AGO, a fantastic AWPer, someone who could definitely rise up the ranks. And again, you sort of talk about the idea that he's not really had any sort of big victories behind him. So I think this team has a definite good mix of like experience, like the calmness when it comes to like those big games, but also has like the sort of drive, the want, the need to win, which I just think that was what the old team was lacking. Like they won pretty much everything. And once you get to that point, there's obviously going to be a moment where you go, don't know what to do now. I've already got my Mercedes. What else do I need?
That really was a bit of a turning point, wasn't it? What tournament was that where they promised Taz a Mercedes?
I don't remember which
event.
event.
It was something like that. It was a bit of a controversial statement when the CEO, for those of you who don't know, the CEO basically said to Taz that, hey, if you win the tournament, I'm going to give you a Mercedes, which was obviously not really the best reception on all sides.
I think Taz deserved it. I love Taz.
I mean,
give him a Lambo, give him whatever you want. Love Taz.
I need to get to be better friends with you, mate.
I'm not giving him one. Someone should. Either way, quick split in. Apex. He's caught in the murder hole, but he survives a little bit longer. Snatchy managing to get that opener, but quickly traded out by MBK. Mihu has got very far into the site, and MBK is not ready for that. But still, the trades come back with Zywa again in pistol rounds, picking up frags. The fact is, though, it's going to be down to the retake, and by the looks of it, this time they don't have a kit. However, with a quick kill from Alex, maybe they won't need one. The tag's coming back in. Zywa spins around, and from behind, Tao's like, I've got this element of surprise, but Zywa doesn't give it a second's thought.
Zywa does not give a lot of things. It's not just a second's thought, and I'll let those of you smart enough, well, not really smart enough, but I'll let you guys figure it out. Virtus Pro.
Were you going to say rat's ass? I think that's something.
No,
he doesn't give a rat's ass. That's definitely what you were thinking, wasn't it?
I think that's probably like one of the most quintessentially British things I've heard you say. Just,
no, that's
just
definitely what
whenever
you're
someone
say.
says ours instead of, us, it's just like, well, yeah, no, well, anyway. Vitality. You completely derailed my thought. You know what? I'm thinking about bats and their posteriors. Now Bialy is Zywa. He's got himself a nice little shooting gallery. Finds two, but Snacks finally glocking him out, and will be able to pick up an AK-47 for his troubles. Of course, unfortunately, he doesn't have the armor to go with. Slick. Alex finishes him off, and it was indeed quite nice.
I like it. Gets one with the nade and gets one with the rifle. Of course, even still, this is one of those rounds where you see VP invest a little bit extra into the AK on Bialy so that he can try and do some damage, and then the rest of the team combine to the next round anyway. So definitely not a bad position for them to be in. They're going to have plenty of weaponry. Snacks I believe he was the one to actually drop the rifle in the last round. So he's going to be on a Mac 10. But to be honest, Snack's always been one of those players who can use pretty much any weapon you give him. Shotguns, SMGs, maybe even a rifle or two every once in a while. But yeah, this man has always been fantastic with the SMG, so I'm not worried. And especially with the strategy they're pulling in, fast pushing towards this B site. The Mac 10 is normally pretty good, but he has got stuck trying to get through the window. So it's taken him a little bit longer.
RPK from bench. He's the main man to try and hold down this site. Snacks will be revealing himself. And RPK, it's ancient man. Well, it's ancient versus ancient. One of them does go down. Apex, though, comes out on top with 3. Mihu, Snatchy, and Wow. All of them on the receiving end of this AK-47. Apex looking for 4, but it's going to be Beali. Who's maybe just thinking of backing off, saving this AK, but Apex will not let that happen. Beali reveals himself, and Beali will be taken out as well.
Nice few rounds coming in from Vitality. Fairly clean ones at that. There's not many deaths over on their side at the moment. And for the T's, okay, they have the loss bonus really built up behind them. So not anything too much to worry about. They have a purchase going into the next round with AWP, whatever you like. You can see Snatchy already saving extra money for that. This round more so hoping to do a little bit of extra damage because you don't want the CTs going into this with a flawless round and really bulking up their cash this early on in Mirage. Especially one of those maps where a lot of the time you'll see double AWPs. You've already seen on Cash itself, Vitality willing to sort of pick that up, even on Apex and MBK rather than Zaiwu, which was definitely interesting.
Surprising.
But it worked, to be fair to them. Their CT side, at least when they had the double AWPs, was strong. But for now, as said, some smokes, maybe going to see a little bit of a execution again. We saw these sort of double smokes falling into sort of section off short. But by the looks of things, that may be a little bit more of a ruse, as the bomb still sits in top mid. Now, obviously, they could try and push short, but that is a huge risk to try and take when the bomb is currently in the hands. But Mihu, he's actually managed to find a pick, and things are getting a little bit more interesting. Zaiwu playing around the smoke. The T's, even with limited weaponry, limited utility, they have managed to gain mid control.
Very interesting to see over there. Alex actually had a chance to block off one of the smokes coming over towards the McDonald's, but he decided against it, which I'm not quite sure what I think about that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much in the consequence of the round. Beali gets an AK-47 handed over to him, and the pressure is now all on RPK, who's sitting comfortably on the balcony. The question is, can he realize where they are? Finds one, looking for more. 15 seconds on the clock, and well, Virtus Pro, this smoke is going to be holding them off for long enough. RPK will not care, and RPK, well, he's seen a knee, and that knee will take a knee, as Beali will be left alone yet again to be taken down by Alex.
Not completely clean, but clean enough. Vitality, 3 players surviving. But now we get the proper attempt from Virtus Pro. Snatchy on that AWP, he's always going to be a man to watch. I think when we saw them in, even with the old roster of VP and in AGO, he was a man that could quite often drop a 30 bomb over on the server. Definitely one of the sort of hard carries in this team at the moment. So definitely interested to see what he's going to be able to do in this round. And we'll be heading over on towards that B site. But as of right now, no one really taking the peek. Oh, RPK playing with fire a little bit, but isn't going to give him a second chance at the game of whack-a-mole. In fact, whack-a-tank doesn't sound anywhere near as effective.
Whack-a-tank sounds like a terrible idea, is what it sounds like.
Depends. If you're Iron Man...
No, I'm sorry. It's still... No. Okay. One of those things is real, and the other one is CGI. And I've seen RPK, so you know what? Mihu and Snatchy, the newcomers, making their way down mid. The bomb's actually positioned for A site, and they've got quite a bit of utility in terms of Molotovs, but a little bit less in terms of, well, anything else. Ooh. So let's see how that ends up working for them. Apex gets taken down through the plywood, and here they go. NBK with a nice flashbang might be preventing them from pursuing a little bit too early in. Zaiwu drops down. NBK finds one. Beali to take a fall. Zaiwu's moving forward. Snacks as well is taken down, but Snatchy's right behind him, and he's got 2. NBK as well will be his next victim. Wow. Watches the man on CT, and Alex will be the next casualty. RPK, the tank, He's looking to do some whacking himself, and let's just say that sounds a bit more effective than the other way around. Flashbang and Incendiary in his pocket. Snatches close, but unfortunately for RPK, he isn't able to take advantage of that close angle.
Yeah, a lot of crucial kills that round from Snatchy with the AWP. Mentioned it at the beginning, he is a man who can definitely take over rounds for his team, and an impactful one at that. Those 2 kills towards the connector pretty much turned the round on its head. The fact is, though, still going to be a purchase coming in. Not a particularly good one for the CT side. Well, you look at 3 of the 5 players, it's not so bad. Even Alex, to an extent, you can talk about still a lot of utility. But the tank left, just a pistol. A lot less to try and achieve. He's going to be over towards B once again, playing the closer range angle. In fact, both players on that side of the map currently left with limited weaponry, and this looks like almost a strategy from Vitality. Keep all the weaponry on one side of the map. If it goes wrong, don't really need to rotate. Never mind. RPK looking to try and do it all alone. Alex now going to get into that sort of close range position as well. They don't know he's here. He gets one, looks for a little bit more as he's still lurking around this angle, and he's given lots of time for the rotation to come in. Mihu isn't even looking in the right direction. Alex looking to do it all on his own. Again, huge impact from the Brit, and leaves it now onto his rotating teammates, but the fact is they're ready and waiting. MBK picks off one, and it's left all onto Bialy. Absolutely nothing to be had, and to be honest, like holding that site with a P250 and a UMP versus a 4x from Virtus Pro, you'd have to give props over to RPK and Alex.
This is a little bit like when in Inferno on the CT side or the B side, you put 2 people inside Emo, and one person's just, you know, kind of hiding away further back, and you're saying, you know what, if they kill one person, they're never going to expect the second one. That's basically what happened over there. Alex, not expected whatsoever with the UMP. They're not checking his angle. He finds 1 kill, and he manages to rotate out because they think he's in the same position. That's the problem with not having Molotovs, that you can't really clear out that angle after someone's gotten that singular kill. He managed to find another person who's not looking towards him, and Alex basically has himself quite a few players just looking away from him, making sure that they have nothing to do with Alex, but Alex has everything to do with them. Virtus Pro, though, money a little bit more in disarray. Snatchy and me, who were pretty stacked themselves, but that will just be materializing in the form of a few deagles. Whether or not they can do some substantial damage is yet to be seen, because, well, so far, let's put it as it is. It's 1 to 5. VP haven't really been doing very much damage.
Well, at least going into the next round, should have a full bite, and with the AWP as well. So that'll be the more important factor for this side. 1 round was more based off of that. Apex looking to pad his stats a little bit, and we'll be doing just that.
Ooh.
3 simple kills, and it's only going to be... we're actually close up. Or they're only going to be the one coming in for the T side. Much cleaner coming out from Vitality, and some money being built up to go into the next round. But here we go. The purchase that really needs to come through for VP, otherwise we could be seeing a hugely dominating half out from Vitality. But they do have pretty much everything they'd like. A few Molotovs missing though, which we'll see if that plays much of a factor.
Well. I mean, this is still honestly, it's a very problematic buy when you consider how they've consistently been losing out to a couple of players because of lack of utility. The lack of flashes could be hugely impactful. We saw what happened earlier towards the B site with Alex going crazy with the UMP. Whether or not they can replicate that on Vitality's side will depend on how Virtus Pro use these few smokes that they do, of course, have. Now, Apex, he's been blocked off this time around, so maybe that boost from Snacks could do something. Bialy's already gone down, and that's not a great sign of things to come because they probably realize where the bomb is headed. Right now, though, the bomb's sitting very comfortably inside the spawn, and it's not really headed anywhere, but Twow's singular kill towards A site might be changing that. Snacks finds one as well, but Alex coming in from behind has got that AWP to really step things up. Zywu as well, setting up the crossfire, and these two are going to town. Both the ops are the only ones left alive versus 2 of VP. AK's generally what you want to have in a clutch situation, but right now, what you want to have in a clutch situation is what Vitality has, and that is Zywu on that A site. Unfortunately, though, Alex could be the man on who all the pressure is, There's no utility on Virtus Pro, so they have to take these angles dry, and well,
oh, no.
dry is not going to work against Alex. Snacks left alone now. He himself has got an AWP to work with as well, hoping that Alex reveals himself, but the bomb is down, and now ZywOo's making his way over. Alex is pushed through. Alex, oh no, you didn't see him. Alex, you really need... Okay.
I'm more confused by Snacks. Like, I can understand Alex, like, the way they walk past each other. But, like, Alex threw a pop flash towards short and then just walked in that direction. I guess maybe Snacks was a little bit wary of his behind, but that was just ridiculous. I don't know how that happened. Alex also hitting a perfect timing on both of those kills. He jumps up, catches Mihu, and then manages to walk past Snacks and find the other from behind. So, a little bit of luck can go a long way, and because of that, well, VP's money absolutely screwed once again, and going into the future rounds, an AWP even seems unlikely. And, well, Snacks, he's going to be dunked out of this round before he even spots a CT player.
Hate to see that. Hate to see that. You know when those two grenades are just heading to you, you've got that few seconds of, oh shit. At least when NBK gets that kill, it's instantaneous. That's a bullet to the head, that's a few to the body to the rest of them, that's okay. But with the grenades, you can see them coming. You've got that impending sense of doom. You want to run away, but you just can't do it.
Well, 8-1. Tees have themselves a purchase. As said, AWP not going to be in this round, and maybe see a little bit of a faster play coming out from Virtus Pro. I do feel like the B site may actually be the place they want to be going, because although it has been shut down a couple of times, I feel like it's more been a few mistakes coming out from VP rather than absolutely dominant play coming out from Vitality, especially when you talk about the round that had like a pistol and a UMP, and obviously the timing from Alex in the last one, which was a little bit lucky, to say the least. But VP instead, they're going to focus a little bit more on middle control. Got to be wary of the aggression of MBK. He catches out Bialy, and there's still players around this middle and short area. You can see ZywOo wanting to face and finds the pick. Very aggressive. Has to be careful though, because Snacks is ready and waiting for a trade. But the problem is, no matter where VP go here, there's going to be a player ready and waiting. RPK holding off onto short. Now he's very low on HP. Wary about the push coming in from Apps, but there isn't one. He's actually got to be a little bit more careful of the player on short, but Snatchy doesn't expect the tank. And MBK can close. Another fairly clean round coming out from Team Vitality. And finally, we now see a pause on the board, likely for Virtus Pro, unless it's more of a courtesy one for Vitality. Just saying, look, guys, I think you need a pause.
I really enjoyed when Apex just peeks down from mid and decides not to scope in with the AUG whatsoever. He's like, you know what? I don't care if this has a scope. I'm going to take the incredibly long-range duel without zooming in, and I'm going to win it anyway. That's asserting dominance right there. Apex, more power to you. Just try to make sure you're doing that on the entries as well. And I mean, props where they're due. He's looking good on the scoreboard so far. He's got 11 kills, and sure, a few of them have been against eco rounds, but compared to the previous map, where Apex was definitely a bit of a sore thumb for the Vitality side, this is looking considerably better. Bialy trying to take some control of mid. Just making sure that Vitality can't be too secure in their positioning towards B. Now, RPK, he's managed to get that one nade onto Twao pretty frequently, and Twao, well, he's sick of it. He backs off. He decides that he doesn't want anything to do with it and wants to go watch the flank instead. Vitality will be facing off against what looks like a fast B play, but still with enough time left on the clock for Virtus Pro to decide against it and to decide on something a little bit more safe. ZywOo is here as well. Full utility on him. He's got a grenade, a Molotov, and a smoke. So basically everything you could need. He himself is a roadblock as well when you keep in mind his firepower. He's got only one though, and he could have been taken down, but they missed their opportunity and they missed their shots, leaving Snacks alone as ZywOo and RPK are able to dice them and slice them. And well, Snacks, he's not going to be any different.
Yeah, nothing. Absolutely nothing for Virtus Pro at the moment. This has been a slaughter on the last few rounds, and that really reflects in the economy built up by Team Vitality. Almost 10,000. So we're a little bit further behind, but obviously he's the one purchasing up the AWP. And, well, we're now going to finally see one once again Bear in mind, Snatchy, I think the first round they managed to win, which was 5-1. He got 3 kills. Since then, well, he actually was 4-4. He's had 1 kill since, which I think definitely needs to change. As I said, he was sort of the man I look to highlight. Also, Mihu used to be very good on Mirage. One of my favorite players to watch on this map because of how aggressive he played. At the moment, it hasn't been going too well, but there we go. Snatchy once again wins that opening battle versus Zywoo, a man that, well, has been highlighted a million times. We'll see if they can continue this forward. Mihu as well. There we go. You just had to call them out. That's all that was needed.
Really? Because I'm pretty sure Reddit's been doing that for a long time. Apex, though, well, we called him out and he stepped up. RPK and Alex as well, able to get a few of their own. Very fast-paced play from Virtus Pro, but equally quickly executed by Apex, and maybe calling them out doesn't work all that well.
It's more of a just like throwing away situation there. I don't really know how VP managed to lose a round after finding both of the opening picks. It's just questionable to say the least, but obviously props have to go to Vitality. Every single player at the moment is having their moments, stepping up, and again, there's not a player we can mention that's not having a fantastic game over on the French side. And for the Poles, the polar opposite could pretty much be said. There is no standout player at the moment. Here we go, though. Quick push. Alex is going to get his 3rd death on the board. It's left onto RPK, and he's going to get himself a couple, at least giving them some hope in terms of this retake. And, well, considering weaponry now picked up for VP, definitely the best chance they've had. Apex maybe a little bit too overzealous as he looks to jump in alone. Well, will they both make the jump? No, they won't. It's only MBK making it up nice and fast. Snatchy going to go for the peek, but actually, well, MBK somewhat makes it past the angle. Snatchy now peeks in. Trade going to be available for Zywoo, and I bet he wants to go for this. Money's in a great situation. It's more so whether he wants to hand them an AWP. Push from him back towards the site. Not much time on the clock. He'll find the kill anyway, but he doesn't know the man's in the corner. This should be impossible, and it will be.
By the way, I'm not letting you get away with that. The poles are the polar opposite. I'm sorry, it's just that's too much, Tom. We've got to have a talk about this. You're going.
Well, the fact is, they're probably feeling a little bit less polar at the moment because the bear's gone from their picture.
Tom, we talked about this last time with OT time. We had this conversation, Tom, and right now Mihu wants to have a conversation, but he doesn't have a head to have a conversation with because NBK has taken it clean off early into the round.
It can use sign language.
God damn it, Tom. I'm trying to transition these things, Tom. Tom, this is why you only get invited to do the minors.
Yeah. What, are you on the major then?
Tom, that's what you told me at least on Twitter.
Snack's aggressive peek out is not going to achieve anything, and it looks like his teammate's about to make a similar play, and the result is the same.
What's that saying? Fool me once, shame on you?
I thought he was going for anything you can do, I can do better, but clearly the case was not. And yeah, Snatchy manages one with that AWP, finding a few picks along the way, but not anything to really write home about. And well, 12-2. Scoreline pretty much reflects that. It's not going to be a fantastic buy. Snatchy will be able to purchase up a singular AK, and it doesn't look like the T's have anything else behind them either. So, yeah. And a double AWP setup over on that CT side once again. Alex probably going to go for a peek, maybe in towards short, but actually early on, he's just waiting to see if there's any sort of aggressive push out from the T side.
Virtus Pro have got themselves a prayer. And from what I understand, a pretty big paycheck to back it up. Unfortunately for them, neither of those things seem to be working out so far. Mihu wants to smoke off mid, get some control, while the bomb is posturing itself towards that A site, as they will try and collapse it quickly. Now, NBK has been very good over there so far, but this time he's a little bit more defensive. Smokes are coming through to prevent him from being able to snipe down those heads, where he's been so good with the M4A1. One of the few players who still use that old dinosaur of a gun, and right now trying to spray through the smoke, unsuccessful. He will back off. Now he does have teammates, and those teammates themselves are pretty damn good. Zywoo pushing through with the CZ. He's already got one, but he wants two, and that's there, done, and gone. Dusted, not yet though. Mihu from the side will be able to trade away. 3 versus 3, VP in a bad situation, though, as Alex will be coming through with a deagle. It seems like these pistols are all the Frenchmen need, and Alex decides that maybe it's time to stop BMing a little bit and does switch out for the AWP. NBK finishing things off.
Yeah, utterly dominant from Vitality. It was sort of a few rounds, or a couple, I should say, not even a few, thrown in for Virtus.pro. One of them solely off the back of the AWP from Snatchy. And other than that, I think there was one other round, which was, again, Snacks managing a triple. Not really seen anything to be impressed by so far by Virtus.pro. And, well, Vitality, they are a team on the rise. It has to be said. They've managed to get themselves through to the major qualifier. I think exciting a lot of people at the moment, especially with the young talent of Zywo. And I'm glad the questions were finally sort of answered with him, like where he was going to go, what was going to happen. And I think if there's any team right now that will sort of grow him into being a decent player, or a world beater even, it's going to be a team that has someone like MPK on it, because the man is not only calm as hell, but he also has huge amounts of experience. So far so good. Vitality 13-2 up, and they win the pistol. They pretty much win the game.
Hey. I don't want that negativity in this console, right? If Vitality win the pistol... Okay, never mind. They probably still win the game. Fine.
I'm glad we talked this through.
Well, okay, fine. You can have this one, Tom. But right now, Vitality want to have this as they're rushing over towards the B site. Full Kevlar up, and Mihu, well, he doesn't care about that Kevlar because NBK has brought him down. And when you're dead, it's hard to care. NBK and Alex keep moving through. Zywo from the side makes it 3 and wants more. Well, that's not a fun way to start things off for VP.
Yeah, it's now one of those sort of horrible situations where you pretty much have to save here, or just go for like 2 awful 4 spies. And even then, it's sort of like you wouldn't blame them if they did purchase into this round, because you're so far down that by taking an eco here, you're going, yeah, 13 rounds in a row. It's not so bad. Like, it's horrible. It's a horrible situation to be in. So, yeah, they are going to take the eco. They're going to take the chance to at least get a purchase. It won't have an AWP unless they somehow manage to win this round, and even then it probably won't have an AWP. So it's it's a tough spot to be in, but we'll see if they can do anything in terms of damage in this round, at least reduce the purchase for the T side into the next. You can see the sort of calm Vitality at the beginning of this round, just waiting patiently for any sort of aggression, making sure they clear all the angles. They don't want to take any risks here, and I can respect that considering the scoreline. Like, you would almost expect them to just be like, we've won the game, let's just go running in and try and take these fights. But they're not. Slowly taking middle control, having a player in underpass, clear all the angles, still a man waiting over towards ramp. It's methodical from them. At the same time, they've been pushed, and Apex has been overwhelmed, so it may have been methodical, but the fact is the CT still caught them off guard. RPK will at least manage to bring it back into a 2 versus 2, make that a 2v1, and, well, he kills them all. Never mind.
Nice way to end things off. Well, he kills them all. Pretty much summarizes it nicely. VP, like you said, they're in a tight spot. They're in a rough place right now, but one can only hope that their team starts to pick things up. 15-2. And I mean, honestly, here's the thing about VP so far in MDL. In a couple of games that we've seen them, they have done decently, but Vitality is really showing themselves to be a slightly different caliber, which is good to see heading over to closer to the major. And now RPK moves through. There's a few flashes to cut him off, but Mihu, who peeked out from the smoke, will be taken down at the end of the day. 4 versus 4, Virtus.pro's aggression does net them that 1 kill, but the worth of that kill is yet to be seen.
Already. MBK picking off another, and the CT side just trying to reaggress, trying to get these trades to keep themselves in this round and in this match. Already they've spotted out one of the remaining players and looking to try and double back in towards B. The fact is, though, Snatchy has managed to rotate in, but loses the battle, and that's probably the map put to bed. It's going to be all left on to be Alia, 1 versus 4. And, well, he's going to have to do something ridiculous, and instead MBK, it just absolutely ruins him. Destruction of Virtus.pro, and that's 2 Polish teams to fall to the French for today. And yeah, well, bring on the next match. That's what I can really say.
I mean, it's going to be coming around soon. Vitality, they looked dominant in the first game. They looked fantastic in the second game. And questions have to be asked about VP's trajectory, considering the fact that basically only one person, if I remember correctly, put up numbers above the double-digit mark. Not looking good for them, to be honest. But you did see a few glimmers of life here and there. You did see some nice little aim duels, and you never really know. Now, next up, of course, we've got ourselves the Czgo Boars themselves. And they're going to be the game, they're going to be the team to watch out for. Of course, there's a few minutes until that next match will actually be coming through. And that's why make sure that you go out there, get yourself some tea, get yourself some water, get yourself a nice little beverage, get yourself a break from Tombiz. And that's what I'm going to look to do as well right now. And we'll be back with the next game. That'll be Czgo Boars versus Vitality. See you soon.